am Lillian Cotter, and today we are going to be talking about how to improve your LinkedIn profile in 5 minutes. So LinkedIn is one of those things where, particularly when you start looking at advice videos like this, where there's a lot of opportunities to make changes. You know you need to be doing something with your LinkedIn. You don't have a ton of time. You know there's an endless amount of effort you could put in, but you want to just get those quick hits. Starting with the very top of your profile, your cover image or your banner image. It is a pretty simple thing to do. Just it makes your profile look complete. A couple of easy examples is find a picture of a cup of coffee, find a picture of your city skyline. We go onto a tool that I really love called Canva, and there's tons of free stock images that you can use there, so that way you're not stealing something off of the web that you shouldn't be using. You can get images that you're allowed to use with those rights there. The next thing that you're going to want to do is for your headline, which is that you're going to want to make that not just your title and your current position. So that is something that when you change your job, it often automatically updates your headline to marketing consultant at Lillian link, for example, would be what mine would auto default to. However, that headline is the most important part for SEO for your LinkedIn profile. So you want to make sure that you're putting as many keywords as possible there. And when I see keywords in this case, that might be, if you have a business or you're doing consulting, that might be the types of terms and the types of expert that somebody's looking for when they would find you. Or it might be, if you're looking for a job, the kind of job titles or experience that somebody might be looking for there. You want to make sure that it's readable. This isn't something that is just for those bots that are scanning through your profile, but it's not going to be that important in terms of an impression for other people. It really is something where you want to prioritize getting those terms in there. The next piece that I would recommend doing, that I think is another piece of low-hanging fruit, is to make sure that you write an about summary. So that is something where there's a lot of opportunity to make something really good there. I actually will be doing a whole other episode on writing the about section of your LinkedIn page, but having something is better than nothing. So while it's tough to write a longer LinkedIn summary, it's pretty easy to just throw something together really quickly. Think 2 sentences. Your first sentence being about who you are professionally, what you do now, and then a second sentence around maybe some of your skills or some of your experience. LinkedIn really likes a complete LinkedIn profile. They are more likely to have you show up in searches. You look better in the job filtering stuff that they do if you have a complete profile. So by adding this about section, you're helping both in the aesthetics and the perception of your profile, as well as helping communicate to the LinkedIn platform that you have a completed profile. The next piece there is to make sure that you have all of your experience listed there. There are a couple of situations in which you might want to skip that. So you want to kind of think about that for yourself. However, having all of your LinkedIn experiences, when we're not talking about some of those that may be an exception. So maybe it's a job that you worked at for 6 months, a really long time ago, and you don't think it's that big of a deal. I would include that because LinkedIn is primarily a connection-based platform. And one of the biggest ways that they do that is they look for shared experience. So if you have a shared job with someone where you both worked at the same company, you are significantly more likely to show up in searches for them. Then the very last thing, when you have all of your experience on there, when you have that about section, you have that headline, you have that cover image, is you want to make sure that you are utilizing all of the skills that LinkedIn allows you to use. 50 skills that you could add to LinkedIn. Those are primarily used for filtering. So that is something that you want to make sure that you have up. You want to make sure that you have connected, but is used a lot for filtering when people are looking for employees for jobs. So always utilize not just like the wording that you think sounds fanciest, but instead really emphasize the one that is going to be most frequently used for filtering. So I hope that helped. If you are looking for more help on your LinkedIn profile, subscribe to this podcast or YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, or go ahead and keep following me on LinkedIn. I will be continuing to talk about all different ways to make LinkedIn work for you, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.